Okay, I'm starting early. Just hang out with me for a minute here while I play with my program. This is Pastor Stephen Anderson. No disrespect. I'm working. Hold on. Let's see what happens here.
They got like a whammy bar. They're up here like, faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works. And we're just like, dong, faith. See what I'm saying? Like we're giving one note. We're not like, wow, 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 wow. We're just like, all right, so you understand the difference. The bell is giving a clear sound. It's giving a certain sound, just like a trumpet would be like.
Okay. maybe that was a little funnier to me than it was to you guys. I don't know. That was pretty funny. Okay, there's a launch coming up. Allison and Tim Pack and Cindy Heeman. Did you guys hear that, or do I have to do it again? Let's see, what do we got? We got 4 minutes till they start broadcasting, so maybe we'll try a different beat. Hold on, let me turn my mic down. I'm laughing too hard. Oh, hey, Roderick and Davey313. Good to see you guys. Just bear with me. I'm going to find a different beat, I think.
They got like a whammy bar. They're up here like, faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works. And we're just like, dong, faith. See what I'm saying? Like we're giving one note. We're not like, wow, 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 wow. We're just like, all right, so you understand the difference.
So you understand the difference, right, guys? I hope you understand the difference. I just found that interesting how he has that map on the back wall there. That's kind of like a image, a corruptible image of what God made, I bet. Anyway. So there's a launch, and then when we go over to, oh, I got to do a screen share, obviously. I hope you guys like that song. Might have to cut that one and just send that to him. I just thought it was funny that he was comparing something to a bell, and he left it on the internet, so I had to grab it. I just had to. Desktop. Should be seeing my page there. Okay, hold on a minute. Yeah, you're seeing that. Okay. So once I go full screen, I'm going to have to run up and grab my laptop because otherwise I can't see the comments. So, good to see you guys. Hey, I wonder what would happen. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm going to go full screen because they're at a minute. And that's kind of boring, though. Hold on a minute. Let me, whoops. Oh, I'm working on a video. I'll show you that really quick. Just a preview of it. Oh, it's not playing it right. There we go.
Tripping balls here. and it's way better.
Oh, and that's all the further I got. There's a little of this in there. So, that's kind of boring. Oops. Okay, so they're supposedly live now, right? We got sound on. So, I'm gonna go grab my other computer. They should be starting any minute. I don't know what to do with my mouse. Oh, there we go. Alright, I'll be in the chat. Nothing yet? That's boring. I got my other computer. Oh. Good, good. I'm a news agency now. Yeah. Don't worry, I don't monetize. I'm just going to the page. It's taking me a second. Man, that was fun with playing with Pastor Anderson there. That was great.
Launch director.
Launch vehicle is ready for launch.
All right, here we go.
You have permission to launch.
1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket.
Mach 1, execute, and we have an indication of spacecraft separation.
At Space Launch Complex 41, an Atlas V rocket is fueled and ready to launch AEHF-6, the sixth advanced extremely high-frequency satellite for the Space Force's Space and Missile Systems Center. Good afternoon and welcome to Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. I'm Amanda Sterling and I am the Program Operations Lead on the Vulcan Centaur program. The launch team is not working any issues at this time and we are proceeding towards a liftoff at 2:57 p.m. Eastern Time. A few seconds from now, the count will enter a planned 15-minute hold. There are 2 planned holds in our nearly 7-hour launch count. The planned holds give our team additional time to resolve any issues prior to entering the terminal count. Will Ulrich, the 45th Space Wing's weather officer, recently briefed the launch team on current weather conditions here at Cape Canaveral. The probability of violating launch constraints is 10%. The ground winds are 5 to 10 knots out of the northeast, and the temperature is 77 degrees Fahrenheit. So the weather is within the launch commit criteria and looks favorable for the planned T0 of 2:57 p.m. Eastern. Because of the long duration of today's mission, live coverage will conclude following the separation of TDO-2, a 12-unit CubeSat attached to the Atlas V aft bulkhead. Following today's broadcast, check out ULA's live launch updates blog at ulalaunch.com, where you will find official and timely information regarding the AEHF-6 mission. Now, let's take a look at all of the events from liftoff through AEHF-6 separation.
And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket.
The Atlas V RD-180 main engine and 5 solid rocket boosters ignite to lift the rocket away from the pad. Together, the main engine and 5 SRBs generate a combined liftoff thrust of 11.5 million newtons, or 2.6 million pounds. Shortly after liftoff, Atlas begins a pitchover to attain the proper flight path, while minimizing the pressure the vehicle experiences during flight. The Atlas V reaches Mach 1, the speed of sound, at 35 seconds. The first 2 SRBs are jettisoned at 1 minute 47 seconds, followed a second and a half later by the remaining 3 SRBs. Approaching payload fairing jettison, the Atlas V is burning propellant at a rate of 907 kilograms, or 2,000 pounds per second, traveling more than 11,000 kilometers, or 6,900 miles per hour, and located 124 kilometers, or 77 miles in altitude, and 283 kilometers, or 176 miles downrange. During ascent, the spacecraft is protected inside a 5-meter diameter payload fairing. This 2-piece shell encapsulates both the Centaur upper stage and the satellite. At approximately 3 minutes 25 seconds, the vehicle is climbed above the densest part of Earth's atmosphere, and the payload fairing is jettisoned. At 4 minutes 26 seconds, propellant levels deplete and the main engine shuts down. 6 seconds later, the Atlas Centaur separation system activates to release the booster stage. The vehicle now weighs a little more than 5% of what it did at liftoff. At 4 minutes 42 seconds, the first Centaur main engine burn begins, sending the Centaur into a circular orbit. At 11 minutes 47 seconds, cutoff of the Centaur main engine, or MECO-1, occurs. Following an 11-minute coast to an optimized longitude to allow for proper alignment of the second burn to geosynchronous transfer orbit, the Centaur main engine is restarted for the second of 3 engine burns. A little more than 6 minutes later, second cutoff of the Centaur main engine occurs. At 29 minutes 24 seconds, a payload attached to the Centaur's aft bulkhead separates. This 12U CubeSat is provided by the Spaceforce and designed to test new capabilities of small satellites used by U.S. government agencies. Following separation, the mission enters a more than 5-hour coast phase. This ultra-long coast is made possible by the addition of an extended mission kit. The kit outfits the Centaur with the extra batteries and insulation required to survive the long trip to apogee. Taking AEHF-6 to apogee allows Centaur to perform a final burn to raise the spacecraft's perigee. At 5 hours 36 minutes, the main engine ignites for a third and final burn. A minute and a half later, Centaur completes its final engine cutoff, following total fuel depletion. Also known as minimum residual shutdown, this capability maximizes the energy AEHF-6 receives to orbit, taking it farther than a guidance-controlled shutdown and ultimately increasing the lifespan of the satellite. At 5 hours, 40 minutes, 57 seconds, Centaur releases AEHF-6 on its mission to provide communications for high-priority military, ground, sea, and air assets. This Atlas V flight is the first mission for the United States Space Force.
SCLC, Net 1.
This is SC.
Verify spacecraft is on internal power.
Spacecraft on internal power.
ULA is using the Atlas V 551 configuration to launch AEHF-6. This is the 83rd flight of the Atlas V rocket and ULA's 138th mission. Produced in ULA's 1.6 million square foot factory in Decatur, Alabama, the 551 is the largest and most powerful configuration in the Atlas V fleet. It is comprised of a common core booster powered by an RD-180 engine, 5 Aerojet Rocketdyne solid rocket boosters, and a Centaur second stage powered by an Aerojet Rocketdyne RL-10C1 engine. Events that took place in preparation for today's launch began February 27th when the satellite was encapsulated inside the payload fairing. The RUOG 5-meter diameter payload fairing protects the AEHF-6 payload during ascent. On March 11th, the encapsulated payload was transported to the Vertical Integration Facility, or VIF, at Space Launch Complex 41, where it was mated to the Atlas V rocket. The launch countdown begins with moving the rocket from the VIF to the pad. At approximately 11 a.m. Wednesday, the quarter-mile trip began using 6 components to complete the 20-minute trip. Weighing in at about 2 million pounds, the Mobile Launch Platform, or MLP, supports the rocket and contains air conditioning, electrical, and commodities, while the undercarriages bear the weight of the MLP and the rocket. 2 rail cars lead the move, with the payload van providing communication to the payload, while the ground van houses the ground support for the rocket. At the rear of the convoy, the portable environmental control system provides air conditioning to the payload and rocket. Finally, trackmobiles provide the power to move the 3.5 million pound convoy. A third trackmobile is added to the front of the convoy to move our largest Atlas V configurations like today's 551 rocket. The Atlas V rocket stands about 60 meters or 20 stories tall and weighs about 580,000 kilograms or 1.3 million pounds fully fueled. The RD-180 main engine and 5 solid rocket boosters produce nearly 11.5 million newtons, or about 2.6 million pounds of thrust, to lift the rocket off the pad and begin its journey to orbit. As I mentioned earlier, Atlas V is launching the 6th and final satellite in the Space Force's advanced EHF constellation. Built by Lockheed Martin, the AEHF constellation is the next generation of global, high-security, survivable communications satellites used by all branches of the United States military, national leaders, and international allies. AEHF satellites are the follow-on to the Department of Defense's current 5-satellite Milstar communications constellation. The advanced EHF constellation will consist of 6 cross-linked satellites and is backwards compatible with the Milstar constellation, with a substantial increase in throughput and coverage to users. This increase gives users the ability to transfer information globally in seconds rather than hours. As the world takes on the difficult challenge of slowing the spread of COVID-19, we wanted to take a moment to share how ULA is responding to the situation. ULA is critical to our country's national security and civil exploration missions. This is a role we take very seriously. Part of fulfilling that purpose is safeguarding the health and safety of our employees, visitors, customers, suppliers, and communities. To that end, as we continue operations, we are following guidance from the U.S. Center for Disease Control, as well as state and local guidance in the communities in which ULA has a presence. As an entity designated part of our nation's essential critical infrastructure, ULA continues to fulfill our duty to our country and our fellow citizens.
Place SRB ignition SNA switch in the enable position.
The artwork on the payload fairing of today's Atlas V rocket is 6-sided to represent the 6th satellite in the AEHF constellation. In the center, there are 5 satellites around the Earth, with the 6th satellite as the prominent feature of design. The program's stakeholders are around the edge, along with each partner country represented by their flag. The Atlas V rocket is also sporting another new piece of artwork, the Spaceforce seal. This seal represents the newly formed Spaceforce. Of course, all of you watching today's webcast will have a great view of the liftoff, but those on the southeast coast of the United States and into the Atlantic will have a front row seat. Here's a look at what you'll see. The red line represents the rocket's trajectory, and the time in the upper right corner corresponds with elapsed time from liftoff here at Cape Canaveral. So if the skies are clear, step outside and see if you can see the launch.
L-8 minutes.
LC switch to the ready position. All steps are complete prior to the status check.
I didn't know this was going this long like that. I thought they'd be starting there.
We remain in the planned 15-minute built-in hold as we continue to prepare for liftoff. In a few moments, launch conductor Scott Barney will poll the launch team for the final go to pick up the countdown. 29 engineers and managers are polled for system status and readiness to proceed. This is the final status check before launch for all Atlas vehicle systems, ground systems, the spacecraft, and the U.S. Air Force Eastern Range. The vehicle system readiness poll includes electrical systems, hydraulics, pneumatics.
Don't care so much. So, she's going to say all the good details right now, and then I think it says T-minus 4 minutes at the top, but that timer's not going yet. I think I heard her say 8 minutes, or someone say 8 minutes. So, it'll be a minute. I should almost go back and play that song again, huh? Because I don't think they're going to launch for a while.
Electrical systems, airborne.
Go.
Ground.
Maybe they are.
Facility.
Go.
RFFTS.
Go.
Flight control.
I don't want to miss it.
GCQ.
Go.
Operation support.
Go.
Com. Go. Umbilicals.
Go.
ECS.
Go.
Red line monitor. Go. Quality.
Go.
Op safety manager.
Go.
ULA safety officer.
Go.
Vehicle system engineer. Go. Anomaly chief.
Go.
Range coordinator.
Clear to proceed.
Launch director.
Launch vehicle is ready to launch.
Mission director.
You have permission to launch.
Proceeding with the count. ALC. Verified T0 is set for 1857 Zulu.
Verified.
Polling is complete and the launch team has given the go for launch. From T-minus 4 minutes until launch, you will be listening to Scott Barney and his team performing the final steps in the countdown procedure. You will hear the team call out that Atlas LO2 topping has been secured, followed about a minute later by the call out for transferring the Atlas and Centaur stages from ground facility power to internal battery power.
Okay, I gotta show you
At
something really
T-minus
quick. I
1
think we
minute,
got
55
time.
seconds, the team will command the launch sequencer to start.
I'm leaving that
followed
volume
shortly
on
by
just a little
securing
bit.
the
I
Centaur
probably shouldn't,
LH2
but
and LO2 topping activity. At T-minus 1 minute
Oh,
40
no.
seconds, the team will command the flight control system to launch enable and arm the flight termination system. In the final minute, the Atlas tanks will be
I hope
verified
I didn't
at
screw
flight
up
pressures,
my...
followed by verification
good.
of Centaur tank pressures.
If we think
Final
about a
status
bell,
of Atlas, Centaur, and AEHF-6 readiness is conducted at T-minus 25 seconds. At T-minus 3
We got
seconds,
time.
the RD-180 engine will roar to life. After liftoff, you'll hear the voice of Jesse Gonzalez providing launch vehicle descent data.
gospel and salvation by faith, kind of like, wow, 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 wow. They got like a whammy bar. They're up here like, faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works. And we're just like, dong, faith. See what I'm saying? Like we're giving one note. We're not like, wow, 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 wow. We're just like, wow. All right, so you understand the difference. The bell.
I hope you understand the difference, guys. Okay, maybe they're gonna launch. Let's just see what. Oh, we're close. Okay, I gotta give you guys the screen share. Hope you enjoyed that little beat from Pastor Anderson. Device, desktop. Okay, we're going back to the big screen. Oh, and then I gotta turn the volume up. All right, should be all set.
T-minus 3 minutes.
Oh, sweet, 3 minutes. Man, we could do
Hearing
3
out,
more
good job.
songs.
Atlas tanks to flight pressure.
T-minus 2 minutes, 50 seconds.
FTS internal.
So I guess this is Spaceforce. Oh yeah, it says at the bottom there, and the bar's kind of in the way. Five solid rocket boosters. I guessed 4 and 6. I was way off. That's pretty bad. Oh, I wonder how they do that. It's got to kick off to the one side more or something. I don't get it. They have 3 on one side.
T-minus 1 minute, 59 seconds.
Vehicle internal.
155.
Launch sequencer start.
150.
Securing Centaur LH2.
Securing Centaur LO2.
140.
Launch enabled.
137.
FTS armed.
T-minus 90 seconds. The launch vehicle, payload, ground systems, and eastern range are go for launch.
T-minus 1 minute, 20 seconds.
And their sound on their live stream's terrible.
SCO count started.
115.
Reduce CCS for launch.
Roger.
Okay, I'm turning my
110.
mic down.
Vent valves locked.
T-minus 1 minute.
T-minus
Range
1
status.
minute.
Range green. Hold.
LC switch not ready.
Flight control. Got to hold at approximately T-minus 46 seconds.
All team, proceed to Operation 80.
So there's a hold, if you didn't hear.
Centaur tank venting in progress.
Roger. A recycle call by flight control at T-minus 159.
Ooh,
Excuse me, T-minus 46 seconds.
venting something.
LC switch is not ready.
Way to go, LC switch. There's always a little chance that it'll blow up. So that's kind of cool.
Atlas tank pressures are stable. Step 30.
Roger.
Centaur tank pressures are stable.
Roger.
So I think they brought coronavirus from space when China went with one of their rockets or something.
Clock to T-minus 4 and holding.
Roger. ALC, reset countdown clock to T-minus 4 minutes and holding.
Roger.
Holding. Man, there's a lot of guys named Roger. It's like they're in the space business, you know? Roger, everybody's Roger. First mission for the United States Space Force. Way to go, Donald Trump. Elon Musk.
This is Atlas Mission Control. The team is working to reset the clock to T-minus 4 minutes and holding. We will pass along a new T0 when it's available.
Countdown clock is reset to T-minus 4 minutes and holding.
Roger.
We'll start the clock. We don't want to wait any longer. Just start the clock.
OSM, LC.
Do you know how much money
OSM.
Step 50, place SRB ignition, should disable position.
SRB ignition disabled.
these guys all they sound so excited. Look
LC
at all that
flight
wait.
control.
Look at that waste of money.
Step 30 SS FAPS inactive. That's the S in pre-flight.
Look at all this. Look at all this stuff that they've got here. For what? What do we get out of it? Nothing. Because it's more money than you think here. Like this rocket, this is millions of dollars. Like, I'm gonna guess 40 or 50 million, maybe even more. Something I could look up. This timer's not going. So, this could be just a Pastor Anderson video. Let's surf the net. Let's surf the net. There we go. Let me see here. Michael Kilpatrick, sorry. I have to turn my head. I gotta move this a couple things here so I can see the chat. Okay. Michael Kilpatrick, good to see you. Yeah, what are they really holding anyway? It makes no sense. They're venting gas out now or something. Like, quite a bit of it looks like. Those birds better get out of the way. Oh, they will. Oh, you know what, Allison? I got a video for Anthony of a Dragon capsule blowing up. I'm saving it just for when he's here to watch it, or you could show it to him. Yeah, the pillars will shake for sure. The four winds of heaven are the pillars of heaven. And so when Dragon's flying up there, burning it with fire, so that ends up, well, what happens when they let go of the winds? It hurts the earth and the sea and the trees and whatever. Way to go, Dragon. 56,086 people are actually watching this. That's just too many. So let's see here. The timer's still not going, so we're gonna do something else here.
If we think about a bell, what is a bell? What are its physical properties? What does it do? Shape. Well, you won't even have to buy that one. No, a prize for, but the pitch. That would be like a bad preacher. A preacher who doesn't speak in words that are clear.
A preacher who doesn't speak in words that are clear. Let me see what else we got here. We could maybe, let's see here. Maybe a little of this. Maybe not though. We'll see what it sounds like.
Blanco beats on the track.
It's kind of like, wow, 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 wow. They got like a whammy bar. They're up here like, wow, 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 wow. Faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works. And we're just like, dong, faith. See what I'm saying? Like, we're giving one note. We're not like, wow, 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 wow. We're just like, all right, so you understand the difference. The bell is giving a clear sound. It's giving a certain sound, just like a trumpet would be like, you know, you think of a bell like, dong, and it's just like that pitch goes forth, and everybody knows what's being said.
Yeah. You guys know, right? Thank you again, Pastor Anderson. We're still looking at 4 minutes on the T minus, so I don't even know if we're gonna watch any. I lost my interest in that launch, unless I see the timer moving, then we'll go there. So that means I can go like this, and I can see the chat on this computer again, because I do have some maybe funny stuff to show you. Science. That should be on his pulpit, like that. There we go. Right, make it a little bigger so it kind of fills it in. There we go. Look at that. Take a snapshot of that. I'm gonna have to put that on Facebook now. There's just, oh, If God Loves Me is still here. Yeah, this program, it's Sparkle Cam. SPARKOCAM. And it's cheap, and it crashes quite often, but it's a lot of fun, and you can do a lot with it. I mean, I just made a music video with Pastor Anderson, and actually, that last beat was not the best. I'm thinking I gotta go looking somewhere else for my music here. Or not my music, but some music. Should we try Baby Shark with that? I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
Faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works, faith works. And we're just like, dong, faith. See what I'm saying? Like, we're giving one note. We're not like, wow, 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 wow. We're just like,
Wow. Way to go. That was pretty good. Let me see if I got even something better. I mean, how many times can you not I just want to remix it like 50 times. I just get a kick out of it. You got to give it to the guy. He's just all out there. He's just letting it, you know. I don't know what the right description of it is, but he's just letting it go. Saying what he thinks. Yeah, I don't really know if I have so many good ones here. So, anyway, this is probably boring now. Let's see what I got in here. So, this launch, let me just double check. Yeah, they haven't even started the T minus. It's still at 4 minutes. Okay. Where is... Oh, there it is. I think I got like a different kind of beat here. Might change the whole style or the whole feel of the sermon. I don't know if this will work, but no, that's not going to work. You got to have the right format for videos and everything, so you have to convert everything with this program anyway. Let's see how he does with this. Pastor Steven Anderson, everyone. He's talking about faith and works and just about everything like that.
And aren't
so he's gonna do a little solo here coming up.
the gospel and salvation by faith kind of they got like a whammy bar. They're up here like fake works, fake works, fake works, fake works, fake works. And we're just like dong fake. See what I'm saying? Like we're giving one note. We're not like wow, 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 wow. We're just like all right, so you understand the difference. The bell is giving a clear sound. It's giving a certain sound, just like a trumpet would be like. You think the bell like dong, and it's just like that pitch goes forth, and everybody knows what's being said.
Everybody knows. So yeah. That's about all, you guys. I don't think this launch is even going to start for a long time. Maybe if it starts, if I'm still here, I'll... So, yeah. Pastor Anderson's a riot. That's hilarious. Anthony's in here. Oh, maybe I got to find that video. Let's see. Anthony, I got something that you wanted to see, so I have it to show it to you. It's a Dragon capsule blowing up unexpectedly, but I have to find it, of course. I didn't load it up in this program yet, but I think it's right here somewhere. My computer's thinking about it. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Okay. So, here we are. It was on a testing stand.
Oh, no. No.
That was the only footage of it. You'd think that when you were doing testing on something like that, you'd have at least a couple cameras on it. Come on, SpaceX. So I don't know the story about it, but that was the one that went up to the space station already on that demo mission. So I can show you a video of that really quick. Let's see, which one is it? The Crew Dragon. I think this is probably going to be the best video. So, yeah, we'll get rid of Bill Nye there. So this is the capsule that we just watched blow up. No, they didn't even launch yet, Roderick. I was doing a couple more Pastor Anderson beats though, with his mouth's an instrument. Yeah. So this is the Dragon demo launch. This is the Crew Dragon, the first time it ever went up there, and it does I forgot what they call it. It docks by itself, autonomously. So almost like it's like a dragon up in heaven. So I just got to ask you guys in the chat. I was listening to Rob Skiba and Zen Garcia last night, and I am in a different world than those guys. Like, what I mean is that the way that they ignore, and I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I think that it's supposed to be this way or something, but they don't even grasp that there's a dragon that John sees up in heaven, I don't think. Because I think they look at this book as if it was the book of Revelation, I mean, as if it was symbolic in some way. And really what it is John was shown a vision. He saw all these things with his eyes. And like he even knew this was a dragon. This is for us in this time. And people like Rob, he doesn't understand that we're in this time, and the biggest thing I think that should be convicting anybody is that there is something making fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and it's just a big giant rocket. And John saw it. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand how they can't at least understand that this is like blasphemy of God's tabernacle. And it's also a deception that is destroying the world right now. Because these are the kings of the earth. And they fornicate with Babylon. Think about it. Only one thing goes from the earth into not the earth. Like, goes out of the earth. There's only one type of thing that does that, and it's a rocket or a capsule like this. I'm just saying, there's nothing else that's not part of the earth or whatever you want to call it. It's in a different place than the earth. Nothing can do that unless it goes that speed and catches up with the firmament. So I'm not saying I understand how that all happens. Not sure what you mean, Allison. We are all meant to play different parts in God's story that was created and finished on the first day, or on the sixth day. I think I know what you mean, though. But this is something that people shouldn't be missing. This, if they're actually interested in what their Bible says, what's in their Bible. There's a there's a warning to the servants of God. There's a warning to them, and it tells a story that they need to know, because they clearly don't know it, like at first. And it doesn't happen until the end, because these things don't manifest until the end. So I think I know what you're saying, Allison, but I think that this is Satan. So that the dragon is Satan. You're looking at it on the screen. That's how he manifests in the end. Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking you meant. But if a person knows what fire is, which I know Rob knows that, and if a person knows what up and down is, what I'm saying is that verse couldn't be any clearer, and there is something in our world doing that. So if there's like 1,000 things in our world that do that, then I'd be like, yeah, well, I wouldn't expect people to pay attention to it. But there's only one thing in this world that makes fire come down from heaven. And what I mean by that is there's only one orbital class rocket that actually comes back down and uses its engines or its rockets to slow it down. That's literally fire coming down from heaven. So what I'm saying is that John said that he saw this. He saw a beast coming up out of the earth speaking like a dragon. What's on the screen? Dragon. So I'm just like, it's like, I understand how someone can read something and be starting from a different place, like this is a long time in the future that this vision's going to happen or something. Because then their mind wouldn't really look if they thought they knew it already or something. Because they're all talking about like armies of the earth, like nations in the earth and stuff, like of territorial like nations and things. They don't understand that these kingdoms are ruling the host of heaven. In Daniel 7, it says that the saints, after the whole thing's done, the saints, I better get my Bible out because it's kind of important. The saints get the kingdom, or they take over it or whatever, they get it back. I forget what the wording it uses. But it's important because this story is actually happening now, and these guys are talking about 2028 and stuff, and I'm like, no, if you understood that all of these things that have been written about for thousands of years, they're coming to pass just since 2015, okay? At the end of 2015 when they landed the first booster. They weren't doing anything before that. Like no one was delivering a dragon out of this world and then coming back making fire come down on the earth. Like that just didn't happen before that. Rockets would go up and then the empty shell would fall to the ocean or whatever. But in 2015 they started landing them and reusing them. So where was this in Daniel? But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Where's the kingdom, guys? New Jerusalem. Where is New Jerusalem? It's up where these guys are, right? It's going to come down from out of heaven from God. So what's this dragon doing in the middle? Almost like he's waiting to do something, huh? To devour. Let's see here. I'm just looking at Daniel for a second. These great beasts which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. That means something. Those words mean something. Arise out of the earth. So then, in Daniel 8, it verifies that. Whoops. It verifies that because he watched this thing. It was a he-goat, and it was pushing a ram, or it was pulling a ram, basically. It says, he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power, and I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. Okay, then that's like the first separation. Breaks his 2 horns, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him down to the ground, and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. So he was pulling the ram, he had the ram still. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. So that's like the second stage, separating from the center stage. And it says, I lost my place, sorry. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great, toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land. I wonder if the pleasant land, I wonder where that is. I wonder if that would be Jerusalem, like New Jerusalem. Maybe. But, so a little horn comes out of there. That would be the dragon separating from the second stage of the center stage. That would be on a like a Falcon Heavy. That's what it looks like, or that's what it seems like Daniel was describing here. And then it says, and it waxed great even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them. Landing rockets. That's the same thing that's in Revelation chapter 12. It's the dragon's tail that cast down a third of the stars. So John knew it was called dragon, and Daniel didn't know it was called dragon. Daniel called it a he-goat with a notable horn between his eyes. So there you go. These visions were for us to understand, and I think the reason why Rob and Zen are in a different world is because they already understand it. Before it even happened, they understand it. So I'm just saying, subconsciously, they're not going to entertain something the way that it is. Like that this is something that couldn't have been understood 10 years ago. Not at all, really. You might have been able to be like, yeah, that sounds like the stages of a rocket launch, and then it is a little horn that's left at the end. And it does go up to the host of heaven. Like, it could be understood maybe, but not like when it all happens. And so that's what I'm saying, is they haven't opened up their, like, I think they would have to actually make an effort of, okay, think of this like you never heard of it before. And then read those visions and think of it saying, the guy that wrote this vision, say Daniel or John or whatever. Daniel's in a room looking out the window. You can't see what he sees out the window, so he's describing it to you. It's a vision. Daniel's just saying, oh, this is what I'm seeing. And he says that throughout the whole thing, I beheld this, I saw this, I lifted my eyes and look, behold. Okay, all these words, he's saying that he's seeing it. That's literally what he's saying. And so it's a testimony about what he's seeing out that window that you can't see. And when you read it like that, it makes a lot of sense what all of these things are. These are the rulers of the darkness of this world. We don't struggle against flesh and blood. And this is what our struggle is against, is this false technology of we can go in explore a universe it's a trick. It's deception. So anyway, it's not good. It's not good. I can't wait to watch the replay of this to listen to Pastor Anderson some more. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. So you guys all have a good day. The launch is still at T-minus 4 minutes, so yeah, that's what it says. Okay. All right, you guys have a good one, and yeah, it's probably going to be a boring launch unless it exploded.